I brought that with me. In case they get too iffy. Baby, don't stress, don't sweat it. Put it all on my baby. Know how I'm coming, and they know what we hate. Run around through that left side, low end. All of mine need more wins. If you got beef, don't come out. Cause my young hitter might go in. Uptown GN, working all through my weekend. Hoping these don't show out, cause all of my hitters too deep in. With the boy, I'm so seen. Ain't worried about long as my money and my green. Baby, I ain't got work tomorrow. Tell me what the business is. Ain't about no club hop. I'm trying to start some businesses. Shorty, you thought it was, they better know it's not that. Talking all that online, they knowing that it's not fact. Sliding through my hood, I make maneuvers like a Uber, baby. Got a 10-year plan, these can't tell what they doing lately. And I'm way too clean, I'm Listerine, I thought they been knew it. All in my lungs, I got my red cup full of that Henny fluid. Young middle Mac, I'm swinging that leg, I'm banging that do or die. And I ain't that legally before I get crucified. Living in my bloodline, this place in my family tree. How the they pressed, I did my best out of what they handed me. Straight out of that country, know my shawty dick as human air. And I need not mention no extensions, that's human hair. Boy, we grew in there. Around through that left side, low end. All of mine need more wins. If you got beef, don't come out. Cause my young hitter might go in. Uptown GN, working all through my weekend. Hoping these don't show out, cause all of my hitters too deep in. Told her no stress, no biggie. Baby, I'm just too jiggy. Better know I brought that with me. In case they get too iffy. Baby, don't stress, don't sweat it. Put it all on my baby. Know how I'm coming, and they know what we had. Be that left side, low end. That left side, low end. That left side, low end. That left side, low end.
We were living in some projects, and they were new projects.
Yeah.
They had hot, cold running water.
Ay, ay. Look, I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Look, Papa don't preach, teachers don't teach. Gon' reach, that's facts. I ain't worried about none of that. I'm making that cash day. Bunch of O's like NASCAR, but it's really more like NASDAQ. Why they thinking that they hot when they really more like quarter on me like a referee? Hating what they'll never be. Small top with a big bottom, yeah, shorty shaped like a letter D. Let her have it, then I let her be. If you love it, gotta let it grow. Crazy cause you really never know. When I'm hurting, never let it show. I'm a two-tone, two-phone, two-chain, new thing, lame whip, but you a broke. Low class, no cash, certified lame. I've been getting to it like I ought to. Couldn't pick, so I bought two. Understand why your chick came, I'm just trying to figure why she brought you. I'm really reppin' and I'm flexed up, and I ain't gotta tell him I'm next up. Sleep on the they rest up, but I'm up and I'm getting my checks up. Me and the fellas be high as propellers, ain't could tell us we great. Looking at like how do you figure unless you been talk about 8 figures. I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Look, they talking like they don't know a king when they see one. See him in person, and he take it back like a refund. Ballin' with my brothers, all my playing D1. Daily checking chicken, he gon' spin it watching reruns. Say they real, but they clones of me. How my cousin in the pen with more phones than me. I got daily correspondence, we tapping in with the Goonies. Tatted tagging my body, they tagging me like they knew me. They actually living goofy, I'm tagging the flicking flexing the muscle like penitentiary Gucci. Been addicted to Stussy and hitting like roofies. I ain't tripping off you cause I been tripping off Lucy. I'm lucid dreaming and scheming, I'm manifesting a movie. Manuscript in a million, I thought that you knew me. Focusing on the Fetty, the longevity, lifestyle. Build the future me, what I'm usually doing right now. Smoking with my shawty, we plotting another 100 grand. Hear them talk a lot, but they knowin' who got the upper hand. Ride about my sister, I'm dying about my brother, man. Leaning out the window, we got him doing the running man. Smoking with my shawty, we plotting another 100 grand. Hear them talk a lot, but they knowin' who got the upper hand. Slide by my sister, I'm dying about my brother, man. Currency from Europe, my energy from the motherland. Tweet a lot, we never seen him in the city though. Taking rent money out to flash it in the video. Staring at the real when they know it hurt, man. Cool, clean, Glock 30, dirty as your work hands. I just got a pallet of product, I'm about to flip it. I don't really got all the minutes for me to kick it. Bought my chick a LLC, we bout to scale it. Partner say he growing some, I told him mail it. Coolin' with my Mexicana mama by the ocean. Only problem that we got is running out of lotion. Getting to the chicken, let a black man live. I got more rolls on me than a fat man ribs. Never met a single that'll make me feel fear. They be throwing salt in the game, we still here. We don't hear the that he saying, he think it means something. All the players ballin', we blue chippin', we green thumbin'. Smoking with my shawty, we plotting another 100 grand. Hear them talk a lot, but they knowin' who got the upper hand. Ride about my sister, I'm dying about my brother, man. Leaning out the window, we got him doing the running man.
What up? Welcome to the MALEROOM show. Yeah. It's my job to introduce the crew real quick. Alright. Yo. What's up? We got my man Rollo. Let me know you got my man JP the Jet. Let me me get some of that. I'm your boy J Biz, man. Your chef extraordinaire. You know what I like to do? Hey. Let that beat drop. Oh. What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? What up, though, fellas?
What is
Good
up, brethren?
evening, fellas.
Cracking up.
Good
Man. What's cracking,
evening,
dog?
my boys. What is going on?
Oh man, chilling, dog, chilling, man. What's cracking with you, man? I was a little bit behind, almost low key.
We made it.
Yeah, man. I was doing something else, boy. I lost a little track
Yeah,
to
we made it.
time. You know what I'm saying?
We
So,
made
man,
it. We made
shout
it.
out to
Yeah.
my fellas, man. Y'all doing good, man. How y'all liking these playoffs so far, man?
I'm loving it. They finally hooping. That's good.
Yeah.
Right.
Just don't understand
Right.
what's going on with Anthony Davis, man. He's like every odd number game, he's great. Every even
They're
game, he's terrible. He's just I don't know what's going
gonna
on.
they're gonna make a whole another analytical category for that dude. I swear.
Yes, it's gonna be even odd.
They're gonna make a whole new category for that
Even odd
Right.
for sure.
dude. He'll give you 30 and 15 one game, and then he'll give you 13 and 7 the next. I don't
Exactly.
get it.
I
I
don't know
don't
what's
get
going
it.
on, man.
I
But yeah,
don't.
everybody, welcome to the Mail Room Show once
He
again.
gotta
We
figure it out.
appreciate everybody watching the show. We're gonna get it. We're gonna keep it moving, man. We're gonna keep it going. Keep it going, man. You know how we like. We like to start it off with a little bit of the funny, man.
A little bit of the
You know,
fun.
I came through. I was going through my reels, man, and I love. One of the things that I love. First of all, y'all know I love comedy, man. I love comedy, dog.
Right.
I love
Right.
stand-up
Right.
comedians. I think they're some of my favorite people. I love to see another stand-up comedian talk about another stand-up comedian's joke. It's hilarious to me. Watch
Oh,
your
wow.
boy Ricky Smiley talk about your boy Mike Epps. All right, check this out real quick.
This is the hardest I ever laughed at a comedian. Mike Epps said that they had put him in. Mike Epps said they put him in special ed.
Right.
He said the teacher told him, "Hey, y'all put y'all helmets on and take a nap." Mike Epps said, "Shut up, bitch. We 19."
He said, bitch, we 19.
Shut up, bitch. We 19. Then you supposed to be out of high school when you suck.
You got the velvet on.
Hey, dog.
He said, bitch, we 19.
Oh, man.
Bitch, we
Mike Epps
19.
said, he's a special ed. He said, everybody. He said, teacher said, everybody put your hand with someone to take a nap. He said, shut up. We 19. Oh God. Shout out to Miss Smiley. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening, Miss Smiley. Good evening.
Hello. If you if you watching the Mailroom show, man, go ahead and put your chat in there, man, and we'll go ahead and recognize it. You know what I'm saying?
You already know what it is.
That was the funny, man. I had to do it, man. That was hilarious, man. All right, back to you, man. Back to you, Rollo. It's on you, baby.
He said, bitch, we 19. All right. All right, hey, as always, man, thank you to all the mail carriers for joining the live today. Shout out to my brothers. It's always good to see my brothers, man. What's going on, Sean? We see you out there. Yeah, so just thank you to everybody that's been rocking with us from day one. We're glad to see you at another show. And if you're a newcomer, welcome to the Mailroom Network. Y'all know what it is, man. We about to get into it. We got a good show for you today. Say it every week, but I mean it every week. Y'all know what it is, man. So once again, get your glasses ready. Oh, also, if you watching, go ahead and get your glass. You know what I mean? The toast ain't just for us; it's for y'all.
Oh, for
So
sure.
Be glad. We have come together once again for conversation camaraderie, discussing topics that are so relevant to men and women in society today. And this is what we do, me and my brother. And we are so happy, as always, to have our male carriers joining us live. You feel me? With that being said, my brothers, as we
Embark.
on another round table that has turned into the Mailroom Show Season 2. Season 2. Let us never forget the foundation that is our Trinity. Let's go.
Let's do it,
Salute.
baby. Salute. Salute. Shout out to Aubrey. What up, though? We
What's
appreciate
up, Aubrey? Thanks for tapping in, Aubrey.
Thank you so much.
We're going to dive in, man. We got some really, really dope topics. Going to really bring some really, really good discussion today. I'm excited about this show. We're going to tap into it. Y'all ready, fellas?
Do it.
Ready?
All right, man. Topic number one of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Do people hold on to the past version of you? Do people hold on to the past version of you? I'm gonna go ahead and start this one off. To answer the question, yes, I believe that. And a lot of times when this happens, from what I've seen, and just like whenever I hear about this type of situation, obviously it's a relationship, and it always has like a negative connotation. You know what I'm saying? It always has a negative connotation in the sense that, you know, the relationship ends or whatever happens, and the two people move forward. But you know, maybe one person moves forward, is able to move, you know, just kind of start the healing process and start reflecting and moving along maybe a little bit quicker than the other, or you know, or whatever the case is, and just some odd occurrences happen. Maybe they interact in some type of way, or one person feels some type of way, and they decide to, and they can't really accept that the person has either moved on or maybe they've progressed a little bit faster than them. Whether it's getting over them, whether it's something they've accomplished, it's just like they can't be happy for that person no more. They can't celebrate that person. It could be a lot of distance in between the two people. You know what I'm saying? It could be a lot of time in between where it's ended and y'all have both had the opportunity to grow. And sometimes when that happens, some people can't handle it. You know what I'm saying? Some people can't accept it because of whatever the case is. So I definitely think it could happen. And at the end of the day, there's a saying a lot of times, when people don't have access to who you are now, they'll revert to who you used to be. And in that sense, you know, it's just sometimes people just cannot move past that situation, that relationship, and it just has some detrimental effects on both. You know, it's the person's choice after a relationship ends to decide to move forward, decide to take it as an experience, you know what I mean, and try to get better from it. Some people do it, some people don't. And I think the people that don't, when they hold on to it, it just festers up, and they decide to, you know, if they let's take a Facebook post, you know what I'm saying? They might see it, but they won't like it. You know what I mean? They take, if they have an opportunity to if they have an opportunity to maybe say any negative thing or have any negative input on you and what you're doing, they might take it. You know what I'm saying? So I just think I just really think it's about growth at the end of the day. And some people just can't grow enough to move past a bad experience they have with somebody, you know what I mean? And allow that person to continue to change and move forward.
You don't mind if I chime in after him, Jay?
Go ahead, brother.
Appreciate you, dog. Shout out again to Kylie Johnson. We appreciate you, sweetheart.
What's up, Kylie Johnson? We appreciate you.
Sabrina, we appreciate you.
Hey, Sabrina, we see you.
All right, man. Rollo, check the back check real quick. All right, look, check it out. So I think, right. So one of the things that I noticed that we do a lot with each other as men and women. And I think, Jay, you touched on it recently. A few shows ago, it's about, we don't give each other grace. You know what I'm saying? We don't give each other grace to grow and evolve as a person, right? As an individual. To me, this is a very subjective topic because everyone handles certain certain things in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So for instance, like if a person can hold on to a past version of you is because that's the last impression you gave them. And even though, and let's say for instance, you reconnect with them later on down the line, some way, somehow, and they're not used to the new, the more evolved, polished, refined version of you, it sometimes that can be that can, it will be a little bit of I guess a learning curve for that person, especially when they haven't, especially when they haven't evolved themselves. Then that could be a learning curve. You know what I'm saying? And we don't let people be open to the idea of you can grow. Uh, the way you were 10 years ago, I can't, and I knew you 10 years ago, and we haven't talked for like 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And I can't expect you to be the same person as far as like in the and within a 5 year span because things can change, things happen, things evolve. And so one of the qualities that we need to learn is adaptability. You got to have some type of adaptability, especially if you're going to be dating and involving yourself with people. You got to have some type of adaptability because you can't you won't be able to use a Phillips on every screwdriver head. Like some are different. And so you can't attack everything the same way. You can't always do that. And so what happens is as a result of the way you were, that person is like, okay, this is all I remember you by, especially if y'all was involved, then that's all they have to hold on to. Because at the end of the day, there is no grace there. Because that's all they remember is they either gonna do one or two things: play the victim or be the predator, right? It's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna play the victim role of whatever happened between us because I don't want to have any accountability for it. Or you got that person that's like, you know what, it didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? And it just is what it is. And so I can't control the outcome, but I'm not gonna hold what happened in the past against you. You know what I'm saying? Because because everyone deserves a level of grace. And we always want the very thing that we're not willing to give for some reason. It's like you hold on to I've actually literally had this happen to me before that there was a young lady I used to work with. We hadn't talked in years. She had got engaged and all kind of stuff, and things went the way they went in her life. And I done moved on in my life. I'm in a different state. I'm chilling. I'm doing whatever, right? And you assume that I'm the same guy that you knew from work about 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and I'm not. You know,
Right.
I mean, back then you met me, I was 34 years old, 35, I'm 40 now. So, there are some things that have evolved in my life, my concepts, my ideas, my philosophies, my beliefs, the way I do things, the way I handle things, like things I have outgrown about myself, some things I have put into subjection, some things I'm still working on. But to hold on to the past version of things so that way it can make you feel comfortable that I cannot let that slide. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give me the same grace that you would extend to someone else. All right. Because if you think I'm the same person, then obviously you're the same person. You have the same mindset. You don't give nobody a chance to grow. You don't give nobody a chance to evolve. And that's it. That is an unfair practicality. It's an unfair practice to do something like that. If you let someone go in your life, then you have completely let go. You let go of the residue, you let go of all the things, the offenses, all those things. If you forgave somebody, you let it go, then okay, you let it go. But if you run into that person again and y'all have a conversation and you think I'm the same way I was then there has to be some accountability, not just on my part, but also yours as well as the person that's on the receiving end of experiencing me. So, but we have to realize too, as we are in interaction with each other, we have to realize that we are responsible for the energy that we give out and for the things that we give out. And so you can't let yourself off the hook because they hold on to the past experience of you too. At the same time, you know what I'm saying? There is some things that you have had to deal with and have to be accountable for, and the same thing that goes for the other person. It's just that's why I say this is a little bit more subjective than it is in general, because a lot of times everybody handle things in a different way. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think there is a situation where a bunch of people just getting together like unless they are still hurt and distraught from the past. That's all they're gonna do is hold on to because that's all they have. You know what I'm saying? And that's not your fault either. So it's a up and down. It's a good and bad. It's an evil, great. It's a all kind of thing to that. But I think it's objective. This is my objective and subjective point of view, man. So
No, I believe it's subjective. I believe it's subjective too. And like you said a big word like responsibility. Like it's your responsibility to accept the situation you were in, and it's also your responsibility when you let it go to let it go. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? It's
yeah, gotcha.
it's a balance that got to come with it. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
you leave a situation, you leave your wrongdoings or and their wrongdoings and whatever went on, you leave that back there.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And nobody's responsible for nobody, the two people, nobody's responsible for how the other person responds after it's over. Nobody has anything to do with how they deal with it, how they come out of it, how they decide to process it. It's on those individual people now because they decided to let it go and move on. And some people, and some people have a hard time doing that. Some people can do it a lot easier than others. So it's very subjective. Where you at with it, Jay?
Yeah, I agree with both y'all. Actually, you talked on the relationship stance, mostly. You know what I'm saying? Well, as far as relationship as that goes with this question, Tay talked more of a psychological way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
The way you would deal with the person on the giving and the receiving end of that, and I agree with that too.
yeah.
I think that some people actually do this. If a person was holding on to somebody else's past version of them, usually it's just because of that no grace things you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Fear of adaptability and that whole thing, like that Tay said, I agree with that. But it's also for the fact that they sometimes will be stuck in the utilization of you. They
Mm,
was just you were doing so much for them in the past, and maybe you were like, say for instance, a person was like loyal to a fault. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Like, take a person that's like too nice. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Or somebody that just overlooked, and what I'm saying, your infirmities. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the situation, you got people like that. You know what I'm saying? They just call themselves just trying to be the best friend they can be or the best person they can be to this other person. You know what I'm saying? But what if the one that was being extra loyal, what if they started realizing the fact that, well, some of the things are their fault? You know what I'm saying? Or I don't have to extend my arm every time somebody asks. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's just really the maturity cycle that they're going through to
Mm-hmm.
protect them in certain scenarios, not to out expose themselves in the stuff they don't need to be exposed in. So if that person think, and these are the people who be like, you changed. You know what I mean? you
Oh my God,
you
you have
acting
changed.
different.
Gee.
You know what I mean? That's the result of that, because you were utilizing this past person so much in their past that you ain't realized they grew up. You ain't even realized that they're not even extending the hand like they used to be.
Yeah.
You didn't realize they matured. You know what I'm saying? And so that makes you uncomfortable, as Tay says. You know what I'm saying? And they say, and they output like that. They output like, you know what I'm saying? You just acting different now. I ain't used to you. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't
Being like
pin.
this. You
I
used to
can't. I
always
can't
like
pinpoint it.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to always like be there for me in every event that I went through. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see what I mean? Like, they're
Hmm.
stuck in the utilization of the person. That's why they stuck in the past self. You know what I'm saying? And so people do that sometimes. You know what I mean? And I think that that's a good additive to this as well. And it's lacking maturity on their part, actually, of the person that holds is relying on this past version of a person. You know what I'm saying? Especially when the future version of the person is more mature and it's a better product, or it's a more positive product of who they are. You don't like them because they kind of matured up. You don't like them because they don't stand their arm no more. That's something with you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's not them.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's a
mean?
whole nother.
The person
That's a
don't
whole
want to
nother
hang
issue.
out as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a whole other way to look
Why
at
you
it. That's
couldn't?
all I'm saying.
Why you couldn't be this when I was when I was involved with you? Why you couldn't be this now? Like people can hold on to that type of mindset too. You know what I mean? Like
What?
you, like now you wanna now you wanna get a certain way. So now you just this. You know what I'm saying? Now you kind of everything I probably envisioned or everything that I may have wanted or everything that I assumed you to be. You wasn't that for me, but now you that now. You know, it's called growth.
Yeah,
it's
and it's
supposed to be it's supposed to be simple, but it's not.
yeah, and it's called you stuck. Look, I got a question though.
Yeah.
So when a person is evolving, right? When a person is evolving, should the core should their core characteristics evolve as well, or should they be the same?
Their core characteristics.
Yeah, like the core characteristics of a person, like a person that's known for being this particular way, whatever way that is. Should that
Mhm.
change as well in the evolvement, or should that stay the same?
I think you got to find a balance with it. I don't think you should never lose sight of who you are, because who you are helps you in your progression.
Okay.
Because you have to when you think back on things like this, and if you really think, you should think about the good and the bad that you saw in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could sit back and say, okay, you know what? I'm just about to go out here and do my thing and just boom and get better. I'm gonna get this job, get this crib. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna change the way I move and change my energy. But everything that you experience, like if you going through the worst version of yourself, it's still a version of yourself that you should be able to tap into to balance yourself out. You know what I'm saying? Because it can't. You're not. None of us are the worst person. None of us are the worst person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has faults. It's called faults. Nobody's perfect. You
Mm-hmm.
could admit your faults. You know what I mean? Sit on it. Sit on your faults, because your faults help hopefully propel you into getting better. You know what I mean? I used to hoop. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I hoop. I used to work on my game all the time. One game I remember in college. I shot. I shot 2 for 11. Okay, terrible game. I was at the gym the next day. I remember how bad I played, but my motivation was going to the gym and not leaving until I made 100 in a row. So I used my fault as motivation to get better. So you got to find a balance.
Well, my question would be, what happened last time we all hooped? Because I bust everybody ass at the past.
Hey, don't even bring this.
Come on,
When did that happen?
whoa.
Hey, man.
When did that happen?
Yeah,
Hold on. I'm about to bring you back. Calm down. I'm about to
You bust whose ass?
everybody on this panel and another person that we will need.
Hey, man. I remember that day, dog.
Yeah, it was some people that was
Did
there.
he bust our ass?
Remember that, Jay?
Man, he was open on us, dog. He opened
Yeah,
up.
I was. Hey,
When we was playing
I
2 on
give
2?
that, man. But
I
for
gave
that,
y'all
that was a good
When we was
segue.
playing 2 on 2?
crazy work, boy. Crazy work.
That shit was like 10 years ago, bro.
No, it wasn't 2 years ago. Yeah, that's the past version of me, and I'm holding on to it.
That I'm holding on to.
And I'm holding on to the past version. No, but I feel what you're saying. No, I feel what you're saying though, Don. Like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I was asking because, like, my bad, Jay. What do you think about that question? I mean, I ain't mean to,
No, I agree. I agree that the core person or yourself should remain the same. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with tweaking.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with changing, man. Just screwing a little bit tighter or adjusting alignment of yourself. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like in the example I was talking about as far as the nice person, you know, just not to be so nice, just not to extend your arm so much. You can still be a nice, loyal friend. You know what I'm saying? In that example, but you don't have to be like, okay, everything I have to back rub everybody about, because that's what they used to be doing.
Right.
They used to calling me and back rubbing, you know what I'm saying, and getting that back rub for me like everything's gonna be okay. But some things are self-inflicted. And I just grew up knowing that I don't have to be so nice to self-infliction.
Right.
So he's still a nice person. It's just tweaking. You know what I'm saying? And I think the course should stay the same.
Yeah, I think just like with most characteristics that we have as people need to have some balance. I think along so the core of you need balance too. Like it's some really good people out here, men and women. That's what I'm saying. People, I'm talking about all of us. It's really good people out here, and what happens is because the good that you the good that you have, you think everybody's supposed to just get it, like
Mhm.
at every given moment, and you do it in an immature way. It's just like, oh, this person is helpless. Let me go help them. But you don't even know what's going on with them. So you're just doing things off of impulse and off of just sheer emotion instead of having some type of context to it. I think I agree. It's like it should be the same, but the tweak part, like you said, Jay, is good. That's the balance, that's the discipline, that's the maturity level part that you gotta have, even with your good traits. You know what I'm saying? Because like you could be that reliable, resourceful person that you always been, and then people could take advantage of it, and then you have nothing left for yourself. And then you start going into this self-destructive mode because you're like, I done gave everything to everybody else, and I don't have nothing for myself, and that's why I don't like giving to people. And da, da, da. It's like, no, man, calm down, pump your brakes a little bit, relax a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Think about the way you did it, how you did it, when you did it, why you did it. You know what I'm saying? Think about all those things and be like, okay, well, that's the right time for me to chime in. I posted something on my Facebook page today, and I said sometimes you have to walk away. Sometimes people won't get it until you discern when to walk away, so that
Absolutely.
way you won't get in their way. Sometimes you gotta learn when to walk away, so that way the other person can grow into what they need to do. Because you might be in their way of their growth, because you're
Yeah.
doing everything so much for them that they're crutching on you, and now you become the avenue, the conduit for what it is that they need to be doing for themselves. They can't grow that way.
Right.
It's just like a
Right. Right.
child when you learn how to ride a bike. You hold on to the bike, and you ride with them. When you take the training wheels off, you ride with them, you hold them, and then you just slowly let them go when you know that they got the balance. And then you let them go. And then you let them continue to learn, and then you get out their way. Can I go ride a bike? Yeah, go ahead, ride the bike. Do that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because people are gonna make mistakes, and then on the way of that journey, if they say, hey, I mean, I messed up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, you probably fell on the bike, you know what I'm saying? You probably ran into something real quick. You know how to turn the right way, you know what I'm saying? Nah, yeah, I got you.
Right.
I ain't got to reteach you how to ride a bike, but
Mhm.
I can teach you where you're wrong in this area, and that sometimes you have to sometimes get out the way yourself. You got to get out your own way to get out their way, so that way you be like, you know what? I don't want to become that person where they're always depending on me to do something for them or to help them where they should be. You know what I'm saying? There is a level. There's a
Yep.
level to this thing. You know what I'm saying? If you on training wheels if you a 12-year-old still on training wheels, dang. You've been trying to learn how to ride a bike since you was 4. It take you 8 years to learn how to ride a bike. Come on, man. Some things are just ridiculous, right? If you look at a 15-year-old on riding a bike on training wheels, dog, you're gonna be like, yo, either they just learning or the curve is a little bit more slanted than I thought it was. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so at a certain point, it's like, okay, when do we get to these levels? And we can't use certain things as an excuse all the time. It's like, yo, there has to be a level of growth. And I think like your character, your core of who you are, who you're known to be, your identity is what I'm really talking about. That should still be firm. You know what I'm saying? That should never waver. Yes, you can, like you said, Jay, critique it, balance it, discipline it, tweak it, do whatever you got to do. But don't let it go, because that's who you are. Whoever
Yep.
you are is who you are. You know what I'm saying? And you can't
Yeah.
change identities like that. You know, like you are who you are. Be yourself. Being yourself can help you grow to become better than what you want to be. Whatever your goal is for that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I asked that question.
Yeah. Y'all two know a time in my life where I was just really just not myself. Y'all two know better than anybody. And y'all have seen my improvement, y'all have seen my growth. But whenever I talk about it, I'd never say I've grown, I've matured. I say I've gotten better and I'm still working. You know what I'm saying? So and that's really all that matters. If you realize it within yourself and the people that you care about realize it, that's what matters. And if people from your past wanna hold on to that version of you in the time period where you may not have been your best, or you didn't do this for them, or you didn't become the person that they wanted you to be, or whatever the case, just focus on your own growth. And I say I'm growing because I want to continue to grow. I don't say I'm good now.
Right.
I say I've grown and I'm still working because I don't hold on to the past version of myself. I'll continue to grow.
Right.
I'll continue to grow. Shout out to my brothers, man.
For the individual,
Yeah.
real quick, man, for the individual that do not know that they're holding on to the past version of someone, like it becomes evident when, you know, a group of people that you normally associate with kind of shun themselves away from you in association.
Yeah.
They stop, you know, inviting you everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not conversing with you as often. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about you have this example with you know, if you have a few friends, it's like the majority of them are doing that. You know what I'm saying? Almost to the point that you feel attacked. So that should be a key point for you to think. Like, why all of a sudden that you had a group of friends and all of a sudden time went by and all of a sudden you feel like all of them are attacking you all of a sudden?
Yeah.
That might be due to the fact that you're holding on to past versions of them.
Yeah.
That just might be that.
Bingo.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you, like, case in example, if you was a person that was just like, that says that's just me a lot, you should not be saying that 12 years in the game.
That's just me, though.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, you should not be saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was cool. We was in our right. It was cool. We was in our mid-20s. Like, you know me, man. That's just me, man. And then we all grown, got, you know what I'm saying, kids and married. Then all of a sudden you like, well, then you know that's just me. Like, why is it still you?
It's still you, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that person just kind of shut off, like, I'm doing my thing, man. I'm not really entitled to hanging out and doing all that stuff like that. You're like, man, you changed. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to identify that too. Sometimes you might be holding on to the past version of you because you were utilizing that past person.
Yeah.
You were extorting the fact that they were entertaining whatever artifact of you that they're not entertaining it no more.
Yeah.
And so you become offended.
Yeah.
You gotta think about it that way, man.
That's the flip side of it.
You ever heard an old man talk about his way, about how he used to be back in the day? You be like, boy, I'm telling you, man, I used to shut him up and knock him down back then, young blood. Young blood. Sit down, let me tell you a story, man. I had this gal one time, boy, let me tell you. Woo! 15 rounds, boy. Yeah, I was a soldier back then. Yes, sir. Yeah, the old man now, my knees is bad. I can't bend them like I used to, man. But you know what, though? I got my memory. Poor Uncle Earl be holding on to them days, don't he? When he used to Earl, you better sit down somewhere and drink you some coffee, man. Get rid of the beer. Drink you some coffee, dog. My bad. It just made me think about that. Like, dog, some people hold on to their old version of themselves. That's funny, dog. Like, I see a whole right now.
I used to lay them down.
You should shut him up and knock him down, boy. I mean, one shot, bam, right there, boy.
Your ass needs to lay down while you talking.
Right. Sit down, Uncle Earl. You better sit down, Uncle Earl.
Sit down, Uncle Earl.
Sit down, Earl.
Shout out to my brothers, man. Shout out to the male carriers tapping in. Great discussion, fellas. Man, hey, just to sum it up, hold yourself accountable to trying to grow past what you've been through with people, relationships, whatever the case. Just try to go past it. Great discussion, fellas. We're gonna move on to topic 2. Let's get it in, man. That's all. I like this one. I like this one. Should the 90-day rule for women sexually work the same for men financially?
I like that question.
Should the 90-day rule for women sexually work the same for men financially?
I like that question.
I love that question. I would like Brother Tay Biz to start us off with this one.
Bless you. Amen. Turn to the book of
Okay.
You know what, man? Hey, man. I don't see why not.
I was waiting on the scripture. My bad.
It's in the book. It's in the book of Dow Jones, chapter number 1,035,700,000.
Thank you.
Did the 90-day rule for women sexually work the same for men financially? I say yeah. You know, I got this question because Steve Harvey is the one that brought this up. He made a good point, but it was misplaced to me because he talked about benefits. He talked about benefits, and we all love a good friends with benefits, don't we? We love us a good old friends with benefits. Now, if I get the who came up with the 90-day rule in the first place? Well, most of the time this is what Steve. I'm just going off of what Steve Harvey talked about, 90-day rule, right? Some people are confused. Some people are thinking right now. Look at this. I like that. I like the participation. Clap it. Now I'm just doing this with Steve, right? Because he talked about benefits, and I think that one of the things he equated benefits with for a woman was sex. All right, that's what he did. This is his concept. This is what he came up with. I don't write the news. I don't make the news. Okay. This is what he came up with. According to his logic, the 90-day rule applies to women sexually. We're asking, should it work the same for men financially? Because that's also a benefit. A financial benefit that's an additive to what a woman has nowadays, because women do love to talk about how women are more educated now. They have more degrees and all this kind of stuff. And when you ask them what they have degrees in, it's in stuff like psychology and communications and African studies and babysitting, whatever, right?
Babysitting?
Yeah, it's interacting with children, teaching, yeah, that's the. But what's the skill set? What's the trade, right? What's the going on? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, you really got me going, right? I'm just saying. It's to me, it seems like it's one-sided, and I don't think it should be. I think it should be even playing field. Because this is my thing. If the 90-day rule applies to women on the sexual tip, then if it did apply to men on the financial tip, then I mean everybody pays for themselves on the first date. That means there is no more there's no chivalry for 90 days. So ain't no me taking you out and taking you to a 5-star restaurant, 4-star, 3-star, whatever stars you like. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no more of that. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest. Let me put my hood back on. Let's be honest. Whether you want something short term or long term, sex is always on the table.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Y'all can stop the cap. I don't want to hear no cap from nobody. Short term, long term, it doesn't. If a man wants to date you, court you, marry you, whatever he wants to do, sex is on the table. Do you know why? Because we were both designed to have sex with each other. Stop acting like that's not there. It's always there. It's always on the table. Okay. But at the end of the day, if a man is spending money, spending time, and you spending the man's money and time, whatever, if you're doing all this too, then there has to be something at the end of the result. See, women can do this. See, women can go out on a date with a guy that they don't like. Or they can do this. It's nothing to them. They can go, they can go out. They can go out with a man that they don't like. Got a meal coming up. I'm going out. I don't feel like being by myself on a Friday night. Boom, I go out.
That's a good point, bro.
He cool. You know what I'm saying? He cool. I mean, he don't want nothing from me. I don't want nothing from him. I ain't got to worry about the sex talk because you don't like him. You don't like him. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole different energy when you're going out on a date with a guy that you like.
That's a good point.
You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when a guy likes a woman, he knows automatically that he's going to have to date her. This is the kind of pursuing and vetting we have introduced. We have implemented dating and all this kind of stuff. And this is what happens. We go take you out. Hey, we go have a good time. We go to a restaurant, movie, whatever the case may be, however people date. You know what I'm saying? Some people are creative, some people not, whatever. However you want to romanticize the date is up to you, guy or gal, whatever. And then all of a sudden, what comes after that? It ain't prayer and supplements.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't let's go.
Yeah.
It ain't let's go to the church for a revival.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't let's get baptized in the sauce. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like, yo, we know what comes up after this. All right. We know what kind of conversations are happening on the privacy of your phones and in your text messages. Okay.
Massages.
We know what's going on in those massages. You know what I'm saying?
Read your massages.
You know how many text massages you done had in your DMs. We understand. We know what it is. Okay.
Facts.
So if you're going to if women who applied it, if this rule applied to women, if men withheld that financially, then men will be looked at a certain way. Will it be looked at as probably cheap? Or he don't really want none, girl. He didn't take you out. He didn't do this, do that. And that's what I'm saying. All of that is a part of what comes with dating. You see what I'm saying? This is why I said a few shows ago, there are aspects of dating that we don't want to talk about. We don't want to talk about how it makes you condition you to disconnect. We don't want to talk about how it conditions you to expect more than what you should. Because a guy like you think you're supposed to get cream of the crop first date, Ocean Prime. What's the other one? Fogo de Chao. Fogo de Chao. You want Fogo de Chao?
Fogo.
If you can spell Fogo de Chao, I might consider taking you to. And you can't use Google. You better not Google it.
Closed book test.
You know what I'm saying? It's a closed book exam, dog. So it's like at the end of the day, if it worked for men financially, then that means that men have to withhold too. That means that the man would have to vet without having to spend. And you can vet without investing early. Taking a critical analysis of who you interested in is a vetting process. And I can do that without spending money. Just like a woman can vet a man without giving up sex so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It can go both ways, brother. Don't think that way you don't have to feel like, okay, man, I just wasted my time. No, what you're really saying is you think you wasted your money because you ain't getting no booty.
Wasted your money. Right. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, whatever you vet into is what it is that you're interested in. So if you're interested in somebody and you want to vet them, you don't have to automatically spend a bunch of money, automatically have sex with them, automatically do all the extras that come with it super early. No, wait your 90 days. Then you get your health and dental and your vision. I think it should.
Facts.
I think it should work the same. All right, I'm on mute. I'm done.
Hey, man.
Stupid. Where you at with it, Jay? Listen.
No, where you at?
I got a question for y'all. Would y'all agree that the 90-day rule for women is a self-worth kind of principle, a self-worth kind of initiative? That 90-day rule, is it a self-worth type of self-worth kind of move, self-worth kind of initiative, self-worth kind of principle for women when they say they wait 90 days?
You think it's a self-worth thing?
Is it?
He asking, is it?
I don't know. Me personally, I mean, I think it's more of a discipline your cooch.
Yeah, I feel like it's
I think it's more of a discipline thing. The self-worth is being overused lately, right? It's sex is a part of the reproduction of life. Yeah, you gotta have sex to create life. You gotta have sex to have pleasure sexually. Like it's a physical expression of that. I just think that when you are irresponsible with the thing that you deem to be worthy, because you can make men see airplanes after you're done with them, right? Because you got the best in the world, right? Let you tell it, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So my thing is more so like I think he was speaking from from where the concept came from. I think he was speaking more so from the discipline aspect of it, giving it up too early before you
Mm-hmm.
actually find out if you really like the guy really like you, whatever. Now, if you're just trying to smash, you're trying to smash.
They ain't even talking to you.
We ain't talking to you.
All right, all right.
You want him to obliterate the guts? That's fine. That's fine. Okay. I mean, that's your stomach. Okay, I'm fine with that. Obliterate the. It's cool. I'm not talking to you because you freestyling. You don't write your lyrics down, so I got you. But those who like to write out their songs and write out their stanzas of things, you know, if you really want to be with the guy for the purpose of what you asking for, then he's like, yo, at least in 3 months, at least within the 3-month period of time, kind of like slow it back if that's what you want. If you just want to go ahead, have a good time and go out with a guy that you want to do your thing with him, that's on you. He ain't talking to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
but no,
I don't necessarily believe in numerical day rules. Let's just say that. I don't necessarily say you need to take 2 weeks, 90 days, 6 months, whatever the case may be. I think you need to know yourself to know how long it should take to satisfy yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you had issues with, you know, being intimate with a lot of guys that didn't go anywhere, then you need to take desired time for yourself to stop sleeping with everybody you date and figure out when is a good time to initiate that. It does not necessarily have to be 90 days. I think the 90-day rule was a scare tactic. To answer your question, Rob, I think it was a scare tactic that all of a sudden, in using that scare tactic, you develop false self-worth. That's how I think. You know what I'm saying? Because the scare tactic for the fact of, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? You had all these issues with, if we're just talking about that, you know what I'm saying? That event about, you know, a woman being, you know, done over with a lot of guys and being intimate with them at the same time. So that's the problem. So you know, you implement the fact of the 90-day thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm gonna stop having sex for 90 days when I date. You know what I'm saying? Which that's not the sex part is not the problem. It's you. You know what I'm saying? And then you want to give this 90-day numerical rule on that. And then when you start deflecting guys, because that don't make any sense. And so when you start deflecting guys and you're like, oh, see, I'm doing the work because I'm deflecting, because I'm using my 90-day period. And it causes self-worth. You see what I'm saying? But in reality, you just need to know yourself and do the time that's necessary. It doesn't have to be 90 days. It may be a little longer for some of you people. You know what I'm saying? You may have to do longer work than 90 days of being sexual and whatnot. Flipping on the men's side, dudes need to take, you know what I'm saying, a longer time before they start flourishing the gifts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to know yourself. You need to examine what you've been through and know yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe in numerical rules, but I think that's the case, though. I think, in answering the question, since I said I got the floor, and answering the question, I think it should work the same, and it should be used more. That's why I think it is. I think coffee dates should come back. I think that you go ahead and vet. I think you should put more into the vetting process than what you actually physically do for someone as far as in dating. You know what I'm saying? I think the connection should come first. You know what I'm saying? And then the reward of the connection is everything that we're talking about. But the connection is missing, and we're substituting the connections for gifts and sex. That's what I think.
Man, I totally agree. When and maybe we could all three attest to this. Like, I know when I was younger, I would meet women, and you know, to get to know them, I used to feel like we got to go on this really dope date, and I need to make it this, and just make it a really dope experience to where she's going to want to reconnect with me. And a lot, like, as I continue to get older, I realized sometimes I would never talk to those women after maybe a couple of dates, and then once the communication died down, I never saw them completely. So I agree with what Jay said about with what you've been through. You know what I mean? And also, yeah, like the self-worth, yeah, it could definitely be misused. But rather some women they say self-worth and it's not really directly it's not it's not 100% complete relevant to why they're saying they need the 90-day rule. In their mind, it's still this is my self-worth, and it's not right on both ends. But I feel that in that aspect, if men decide to make sure that they court a woman a little bit more and make sure that they're not coming out here spending bukus of money on women they just met, you kind of realize your self worth too. It's important for us to realize our self worth. You know what I'm saying? It's I think it's important for us to know who we are and understand that, if you're in the mindset to really vet properly, some men aren't, but if you're in the right mindset to vet properly, men, we should know our worth too. You don't got to go out and spend $300-400 on the first couple of days. Go to the coffee shop, go to the park, go to the museum. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily because we've been through nothing, and we probably have, like I just said, once I really started kind of seeing that pattern, I kind of slowed down on the just asking a female out as soon as I meet her, or just asking her out after a couple conversations. You know what I mean? So I think everybody's experience is different, but I do think self-worth is a little bit intertwined with it, because hopefully whatever you've experienced is helping you build something up, but not using it, but it has to be relevant to really being intentional with getting to know somebody. Not just because I'm just going to say that, not just because I'm going to say this just to say it, or I'm just going to do this just because I feel like I should do it, or, you know what I mean? But actually being intentional with wanting to vet somebody and get to know them. You know what I mean? And just kind of get back to that. So it's, but I definitely do think that men should consider that. You know what I mean? And it, like Jay said, it don't have to be no time frame, but there should be some type of boundary you're not willing to cross extremely early in getting to know somebody or vetting somebody. You know what I mean?
The time frame thing is just a concept
it's just a concept.
It's not literal. So but some people. You got some kids that learn.
It's literal to some people.
Yeah, but it need to be for some people because listen, man. Some kids learn differently. Okay. Some kids learn differently, and they need time, longer time than others. You know what I'm saying? Some people went through school and they had to go to summer school. That's how bad it took them a while to get it. But as long as you get it, right?
Yeah.
And then my thing is
this: get it.
If you have the, that's why I don't think it has nothing to do. For me, I don't think it has anything to do with the self-worth part. I agree with I didn't see it that way, but I also understand how it could be a scare tactic too. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there has to be some type of, because the excuses are getting too cringe for me, man. It's like, yeah, he was this, he was that, and then you gave him the blowout like the first time you saw him. So look, what level of respect and self-worth do you want him to give you that you didn't give to yourself?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real, like it start with you. You know what I'm saying? It start with you first. Like if you don't value the box, and when you know what I'm saying, you get first date, give out dividends on it on the first date, first time, whatever, whatever. Like what category do you want to be put in after that? You know what I'm saying? It's like at the end of the day, you think you're gonna be, you think a relationship gonna spark out of thin air from this? You think you're gonna get the expectations? Like, no, you know this was a jump off session. You know what this was. Stop playing with me.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't normally go to hotels by myself with guys. So why you here?
Yeah.
It's very telling that you're here right now.
Reverse engineer.
It's like, exactly. It's like, what are you? Whatever standard you have for yourself on the physical end, then a man should have the same standard for himself on a financial end if that's the equation of that's the equilibrium. You know what I'm saying? And so because he wasn't talking about a woman's character, he wasn't talking about he's just talking about the sex part. And it's like, okay, well, we all know that once a man spend money on a woman, whether it's a short-term relationship for whatever or a long-term thing where he want to marry you, we all know sex is on the table. So at the end of the day, it's still some sort of a silent exchange that's happening. If you go out on a date with a woman and you spending all the money, she feeling special and all that kind of stuff, and then at the end, you might get a section. You know what I'm saying? So why we act like we don't know this? This is a process. This is a process.
That's the hope. That's the wish.
This is the process that we all take every day. We take the process. Like that's what happens. And so at the end of the day, that whole concept, if a man related it to his finances, because some men lead with that, you know what I'm saying? Some men just lead with their bread because they feel like that's going to impress the chick. And that's all they kind of have to lean on because they know they probably don't have no conversation or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying men with money don't have conversation. I'm just saying some guys don't have the confidence like that. They're like, but I know I can spend money. I can provide. So I could do that and that can speak for me. And then the chick be like, yeah, I like provision. So in exchange of your provision, I will give you, And then you like, but he ain't called me in 2 days. Well, you met him 2 weeks ago. Yeah, you gave the box up early. And this is what comes with giving up the box early. You might go in there.
You gotta take responsibility. Yeah,
this kind of goes with it. So we trying to give you the one up. We try to give you a little inside info. Like that might happen. Put a pin on that. Put an asterisk on it because that might happen. You might give up the draws, and that's all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying.
Because I mean, like both people are after something. If you decide to, you meet somebody, y'all decide to off rip, no conversation, maybe 1 or 2 conversations, y'all decide to link up. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because sometimes you can meet people and like the energy is just there. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? Hey, what you got up tomorrow? And you want to go to dinner because sometimes the energy is there. A lot of times it's not there, but you decide to go ahead and just start dating, or you decide to start going places with each other. It hasn't been enough time in between to go past the physical.
Right.
It hasn't been enough time. So you know what I mean? Like the dude going for the physical, the woman might be going for whatever they're going to get out of the date or whatever they're going to get from them. There's not enough time to develop any other motives, really. Outside of just what you want out of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's crazy. So like I just think both us men and women need to develop some type of principles for ourselves when it comes to stuff like this.
Yep. Principles. That's all.
Yeah, like the key, the key is to not be jaded, not to go into it all jaded. What I've been through and what's going on. You know what I mean? If you're not ready to date, don't really date. And if you are here kicking it with people, let them know where your head is at. It's okay. I don't really want a relationship right now. I don't really want to date. I'm just kind of doing my thing. We could definitely hang out, have fun, but that's not where I'm at. Nobody's doing that no more either, I don't think. Nobody's doing, because they feel if they're honest, they're not going to get what they want. That has to stop. That has to stop.
That's yeah.
That like we got to start being real with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can't nobody ever fault you for being real. Nobody, whether they like it or not, whether they think you're an asshole or not, you were real. Who can fault anybody for being real? And being
that's
real,
very hard to do, though, man.
It's extremely hard to do, but that's why nobody does it.
It shouldn't be, but it's right. It shouldn't be hard, but it's very hard to do. Is because people ain't real with themselves. You can't output anything you don't have. You can't be somebody you haven't seen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dog, like people have a hard time being honest with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not honest with themselves.
Mhm.
You can't honestly say you have an issue. You know what I'm saying? It's if you tell yourself you have an issue, you know what I'm saying? First thing not having a problem is admitting it, right? If you can tell yourself you have an issue, you have more confidence in saying that you have an issue. And since we all have faults, we should be more have confident about our faults. You know what I'm saying? And our flaws as individuals, rather than trying to have, because what at the end of the day, we're just making the other person that we're trying to date band-aid our flaws. And I said that before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not it. So, you know, and then we cover that all up with our desires. You know what I'm saying? And we rush in, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you target sleeping with somebody too quick. That's why guys start throwing money the first chance they get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's because, you know, you so want to saturate your image that you want to saturate your image so much that you want everybody in the world to think that you're this type of person when you're really not. You just putting whipped cream on a nasty cake. You know what I'm saying?
Call it tiramisu.
Right.
Hey, last time I checked, we were adults. We don't got time. We don't got time to worry about what everybody think about us. We really don't. We really don't. We don't have time for it. We shouldn't make time for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gotta be what it is. It gotta be what it is. Shout out to my brother for that one, man. Another great conversation. We see the mail carriers going ahead and commenting this week. We love y'all. Y'all been a little quiet the last couple weeks, and we don't mind it, but we love for y'all to always participate. So yeah, no doubt. Before we go into our feature, I got a couple of little announcements. Obviously, I already know what it is, man. We got the Mailroom After Dark popping off next week.
Yep.
We got the Mailroom After Dark popping off next week. If you were in the Mailroom After Dark last season, man,
it was fire.
It was extremely dope. We had some really dope people join the panel. If you're new to the Mailroom After Dark show is just a show that we do. We're going to do it on this coming Friday night from 8 p.m. until. And we just go. It's a little bit more intimate version of the Mailroom show, where we just really want to tap in with our viewers, male and female. We want y'all to come in, holler at us, chop it up with us. We're going to have fun. We're going to party. Of course, we're going to have a topic or two, but it's really open, man. It's really for y'all to come in and holler at your boys, man. We want to see y'all. We want to enjoy it. We want to feel y'all presence. Y'all have been so supportive, and the Mailroom After Dark show is just a chance for us just to get to know our viewers a little bit better and just come in and have a good time, man. What we about to do right now, man, we about to show y'all, we about to give y'all a little something to get y'all ready for, you know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, fellow mail carriers? It's your boy JB the Gent from the Mailroom Show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time once again. I'm here to announce our new seasonal events. We had one last season, but this season we're coming back with Mailroom After Dark. Now, I don't know if y'all was with us last season, but we had a great Mailroom After Dark show last season. We had a lot of participants. We talked about the subject at hand. We talked all night, and it was a great show. Thank you for everybody that participated last year. But this year, we're trying to do it bigger and better. You can check out the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and post our last show there. But this time, it's going to be a banger. So, for this year, we're just going to let the title out the bag tonight. We're just going to go ahead and let you know. Since I'm doing the commercial for it, we might as well just tell you what it's about. So watch this. Check this out. Think about this one. Is it truly a detriment or a compliment to the outcomes of women who label themselves strong and independent? See? Told you we was going to have a banger for you. So come check us out. Come check us out, my boy Rollo, and my man Tay, Chef Tay Biz, for the Mailroom After Dark, 8 p.m. until May 12th. 8 p.m. until May 12th. And also tune into our mailroom show every Sunday, 5:30 Eastern Time, right here on YouTube. Every Sunday, 5:30 Eastern Time, right here on YouTube. So come check us out. This is your boy, JB the Gent, on YouTube, The Mailroom Show, right here on the Mailroom Network.
That boy cooked that, bro.
Boy, cook that up, bro. So y'all know what it is, man. Y'all heard my boy JB. Shout out to JB for the dope promo. We're gonna be posting that on all our platforms throughout the week. So please make sure y'all tap in this Friday. Also, we've been so caught up in the topic, I forgot. We're doing something different this season. If you have a Q&A question, please put it in the comments throughout the entire show. We're just not going to bring y'all on at the end. We're going to go ahead and get your questions in throughout the show. Make sure you put Q&A in the comment so we can know to start, and we're going to definitely holler at y'all at the end of the show, man. So throughout the show, if you got a question about today's show, a past show, or we just want to holler at the boys, man, for a second. Also, never, ever forget, man, what we want them to do, fellas. What do we really want them to do?
Hop in this.
We really want y'all to hop on in this fire with us. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, y'all know what it is, man. The Mailroom After Dark popping off this Friday, May 12th, 8 p.m. until, man, we going to go in. We're going to have a lot of fun, man. Let's get it, bro. All right. Y'all know what time it is, right, fellas?
Sir.
Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. It's time for the feature topic of the week. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tonight's featured topic of the week. Woo!
This is a good one.
Are we about to take it here, fellas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a woman.
Push it all the way in and turn it.
We go all the way in and turn it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Is a woman being handled another way of just being tolerated? Is a woman being handled just another way for women being tolerated? I'm going to have my brother and Jabuzi kick us off with this one.
Whoa. Is a woman, but
I'm going on mute.
Am I kicking it off?
Tyson, he going on mute. Yes, you are kicking it off. Yes, you are.
Am I kicking it off, or do we got some evidence of this topic already? Are we doing I thought we had a vid for this.
You know what? You're right. We do have a little bit of evidence. We do have. Hey, Tay, let's get an evidence. I think
we got some evidence before we hit it.
Hey, Tay, I didn't know if they was ready for the evidence, but let's go ahead and give it to them.
Yeah, let's give them the evidence, man.
Evidence. Evidence. No, here we go.
Easy to me how some women be like, "Oh, man can't handle me," and blah blah blah.
Hold on, yo.
Well, it ain't got nothing to do with handling you. First of all, you're a human. You don't
now.
Handle humans. Men don't tolerate you. Now, some women be like, "Oh, man can't handle me." And blah blah blah. It ain't got nothing to do with handling you. First of all, you're a human.
All right, it's acting the fool.
All right. Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good.
This video was talking about a young man saying that he don't tolerate you instead of handle. You don't handle women, you handle humans, you don't handle humans, you handle animals and things of that nature. But some men just tolerate you. It's not about handling you. And he also mentioned about as a man gets older, how he evolves and he doesn't want to do the same old things he used to do when he was younger and all that kind of stuff. So he talked about different things of that nature, but that's the whole point of the video. All right, okay, go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, this handle word, man, is a red flag for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it comes from the young modern day chick mostly is when I hear this from. about being handled. It's like you so much of a see. The theory is you're so much of a special case.
Wow.
You're so much
You
of
choosing
an
violence.
outburst. You're so much of a electric current that you just can't control. That you need a special person or someone skilled enough to deal with you as an individual. And that's bullshit. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? That's facts, man. Like, for real, man. People, you know what I mean? It's okay to be different. It's okay to be, you know what I'm saying, authentic in your own way. That's
Yeah.
completely fine. But when you start to say stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, I need somebody to handle me, it's just for the fact that you accept the fact that you are off the rails. You know what I'm saying? You're accepting the fact that you're off the rails. You want everybody else to accept that fact too. So that's why my man was saying that turns into toleration. See, I know that there is a track. You know what I'm saying? And everybody should follow a certain set of rules or a certain guideline or a certain freeway to most things. You know what I'm saying? It's all right to think outside the box, but entirely trying to make your own box every day when it's already been proven that there's certain things that should be fine in way of doing. You know what I'm saying? Like you just want somebody to accept the fact that you're off the rails. And so now I gotta tolerate the fact. See, this is why he said that. Now I gotta tolerate the fact that I know you're off the rails, and I'm just supposed to accept it, even though I think differently. And that's why I call it plain bull. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody should have to handle somebody in order to tolerate that same person that much. You shouldn't. You know what I mean? That means you don't want to be. You know, you don't have no negotiation factor. You don't have no thought of reason. You don't have none of that. It's just your way or the highway. And so it's just like, oh, so yeah, I think I'm just a special person because I think a certain way, or I got a lot of personalities, or whatever the case. It's just all bull to me. Like I just don't. That means the normality. See, that's what I'm saying. There's always a method and a set rule for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you was the most esoteric thinker, or you was the most like, you know what I'm saying, woke person out of the world, a methodical date with a nice gentleman, being a courtmanship gentleman, will get a lot of people's attention just on the norm, right? Regardless of the chick.
Supposedly.
You know, right. It's just supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like normally. That's normal method. So now you just not adhering to, you don't even adhere to normal method. You know what I'm saying? I spoke before on the podcast. Matter of fact, I was visiting you, Rallo. You know what I'm saying? I was visiting you when I said this. Then I was like, you know, I know calculus and you just know basic math. That means we can't get along?
Yeah.
All I have to do is understand that you don't know calculus and talk basic math. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that. You know what I'm at. Or we disagree to disagree that you don't know where I know. See, it makes it easier when I just come right. See, the avenue is normal. That's the normal avenue you should go. So normal conversation of, you know what I'm saying, social rhetoric doesn't apply to you. Normal ways of doing things don't apply to you. And so you need somebody to accept all that shit? Nah, man, nah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I agree. I agree with you, bro. Like, I hate hearing this. Can no man handle me? And I contribute it to either two reasons. One, you don't want nobody to handle you, or you're afraid of somebody that can.
Okay.
So it's like a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with how awesome you are. It has nothing to do with how bad of it has nothing to do with how successful or attractive or whatever you are. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with that, because nine times out of 10, you've been in plenty of situations where there's been a dude that has been been courting you or whatever the case is, and you probably couldn't handle him. Has that ever happened?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
You can't handle it's and you say it's normally these modern day women. Like we're probably not talking to probably like most of the women that follow us. We're probably not talking to them, but we're talking to the women who use this as a sense of feeling that this is gonna give them one up on whatever dude that they might be interested in, or whatever dude that they feel wants them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just all over the place with it. Just all over the place.
Yeah, that's why it's a red flag for me. It's a wrong sense of word. I don't even think you should be using that word, man. I think you're using the wrong terminology to explain that you're a different package. But for the fact that that is being used as that lets me know where you're at. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the fact that you're using the word handle lets me know psychologically where you're at.
Most of the time, there's no logic behind it. Exactly like my man said in the video. You know what I mean? We are adults. We are grown. You know what I mean? Should nobody have to handle nobody? You either gonna approach me or acknowledge me the way I feel I should be acknowledged as a grown man, as an adult. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not going to tolerate you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it could be a lot of women that haven't been tolerated, so this is where their head goes. This is where their head goes. So they decide to put this label on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They just place this label on it because nobody does. That's all it is. It's very simple. You know, I think people who don't I think men and women who don't recognize this, you know what I'm saying, their mind hasn't evolved to a state where they can consciously pursue and consciously move to create connections and relationships with people. It just has.
I actually agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Where you at, Busy?
The only chicks that say this are the ones with bad behavior.
Thank you. Yeah.
So skip them chicks, man. We ain't talking to y'all no more. I'm sick of y'all. If I gotta tolerate you, if I have to tolerate you, then you need therapy.
I need therapy. Ain't nothing wrong with me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Me, you, him,
you, everybody get there. No. Chris Tucker Rush Hour 3 joke, y'all.
How you gonna place your illness on others?
No, it's not even about an illness. It's bad behavior. That's not an illness. Didn't nobody whip your ass when you was young? Didn't nobody put the elbow to the throat like Bernie Mac said? Hit him in the stomach or the throat. Pour Kool-Aid on their ass so they won't holler on seat. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody discipline you. Now you
used to call for crazy Joe.
You here it is. You grown up. You a grown adult talking about you want somebody to handle you because you know you got a bad attitude, bad disposition. Everything you say is toxic. It makes absolutely no sense logically or even to life itself. And you want somebody to tolerate that. No. Ain't nobody gonna tolerate that. This answer the answer to this question is absolutely yes. This is just another way for some crazy low maintenance dude to tolerate you just because he want to get some box. That's all it goes.
Or said he did. Period.
He just won't box. He'll tolerate your bad attitude, and then behind your back, he calling his other homies like, "Man, this chick is crazy, but man, she got some great blah blah blah." Right, and that's all he got left to say about it. It's bad behavior, man, and then on top of that, you actually feel so highly of yourself with this bad behavior that you try to word it in a way to make it seem like that you're more worthy of privileges than you ought to be.
Right.
Arrogance and the audacity of you. You deserve my tolerance.
It's the illegitimate guile of it all, man.
But I'm gonna be real with you. I blame dudes for this. I blame these weak-minded.
I can see that
for this junk dog because they keep feeding the beast over and over again.
Yeah, we talked about simps.
They keep feeding the beast.
Mm-hmm.
This chick got bad behavior.
Yeah.
She don't like nothing but money. She don't this, don't that. We talking about those type of women right now. They don't want nothing. And then you got dudes out here that's simping for them. They don't even like him.
Mm-hmm.
But he will do whatever it takes to make sure that she's okay. So he'll tolerate her just because he don't get no boxes, but he want to get boxed from her.
Mm.
Like, come on, man. Then she like, I need a man that can handle me because I know I'm a handful. I could be a handful sometimes. Okay.
Yes, that's that statement.
You just told me that you know you a handful.
Right.
Ooh.
Say they don't even hear themselves talk.
No, they do. They do. No. It's another level to this.
No, they know.
I
have to agree with Tay on that. They
Bravo,
know.
They don't give a damn. They hear it. Oh, they can hear Jimmy.
They can hear Jimmy.
They can hear Jimmy, dog. They don't give a damn. Because all they want is what they want. And if they don't get what they want, then he was intimidated by her attitude. Then he was up. Then they go into the shame, insult, guilt tripping, and need to be right. They start shaming. He couldn't handle my attitude, so he's intimidated. Then she started talking about his Johnson, and then she started talking about all the stuff that she would never normally talk about if she was getting everything she wanted. But now she's not getting what she wanted. Now he ain't shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how I go.
Now all of a sudden he's intimidated. It's not the fact that you got bad behavior, you don't have no morals, you was raised wrong, you out of control. You got
all that.
You're giving yourself too many self-affirmations. And this affirmation community is getting on my nerves too. Every post you see is a chick, or even some dudes do this, where they just post everything that makes themselves feel better about themselves when you have done gobbledygook about fixing the issue at hand. Yes, you have done gobbledygook about it, okay? You ain't done nothing. You ain't had no real therapy time. You ain't really confided. You ain't been vulnerable. You ain't done nothing. You ain't been honest with yourself. You have not done anything productive to really fix yourself. But you keep telling people.
Jay, he said gobbledygook.
You keep telling people yourself that you deserve this and deserve that, and it's insufferable. It is the most insufferable thing you can do to yourself. You're lying to yourself. You're not being honest with yourself, but you want somebody to handle you. You sound backwards.
Hey, Tay, what would happen if men kind of took that on? Like, what would happen if men acted like that?
If men acted this way, I would have the same energy. Same energy goes for everybody.
Oh man!
That's why I said some men do this junk too. They talk about themselves. I'm king. You know what I'm saying? I come from the African heritage. I'm king. They start reading all these African study books and all that kind of stuff, and you don't even know how to. You don't even know how to
quote hymns and shit.
Quote hymns. Yeah. They sing all the African proverbs. They even mention my name because I got my name Asante, so I got some Swahili, man. Asante, you know what I'm saying? They do that too. You know what I'm saying? They do all of this, and you don't even know how to file your taxes. You don't even know how to take care of yourself and wash your clothes. You don't even know how to keep a job steadily. You are backwards.
Hey Jay, whose man is this? Is this our man? Is this our dude?
That's my.
Why you turn this camera off, bro?
Because we're not keeping the main thing. It ain't about the man can't handle you, sis. It's about the fact that you
guy
got
here.
bad behavior.
Whose man is this?
Bad behavior.
This guy here.
Whose man is this?
And you don't want to change. If you really be honest with yourself, sis.
Let's go, Tay.
You don't want to change. You would rather be handled than to configure what's wrong with you. You'd rather be handled. That's irresponsible. It's not fair to the person that's dealing with you. That's why people need an isolated period of time by themselves so you can see who you really are. This pandemic told on us that we are some of the most craziest, dismembered, insensitive, destructive body of people that ever been created.
Churlish.
And you want churlish, insubordinate, and chicanerous, and deplorable.
Hey, spell that last word. Canerous, okay?
ain't deplorable.
I'm just saying, there's nobody
Cook.
responsibility to handle you. You should be able to handle yourself. I should not. There is no way in the world if a man is taking a woman out, he got to give her a prep talk about how to act. Where we going? She
That's a
ain't the one to
problem.
take. She is
That's a
not
problem.
the one to take. Okay.
That's a problem.
Just like women have their different type of guys. They got the guy friend that they friend zone to talk about guys with. Then they got another guy friend that they know that they get money from. Then they got another guy that they know that they take them out. Y'all ladies know y'all got a roster of dudes that y'all categorize just like this. They did put them in category. And you got one guy you can go to church with, and you ain't got to worry about it. He's safe because he godly. He don't want no box. And then you got the other guy that you can just do whatever with. Y'all got these category of men. Y'all do the same thing that men do when it comes to this. Y'all have men for certain reasons. You know, some of y'all women do have this, right? That the men should have the same thing. There are some women you could take out. There are some women that you know that you could take to an event that ain't going to embarrass you. There are some women that you know you can do some ghetto stuff with. You take her to the cookout. You don't take her to the
You don't take her out though.
Yeah, you take her to the cookout. You know what I'm saying? You meet the cousin, the family. You don't care, man. She ain't whatever. It is what it's a cookout. Everybody meet everybody. They all think they're your cousins anyway, so it don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Depending on you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, bro, it's bad behavior. You don't want to change, and that's why you rather have a man handle you. And then when he tolerates you, as long as you're getting what you want, you're fine with it. As soon as he cut off the privileges and the benefits of dealing with you, then you go ape shit. Because you start acting like that same child in aisle 3 at Kroger's who don't get what they want, and they just fall on the floor and start crying and giving tantrums because you're not getting what you want. When you should not play that game in the first place.
Clean up on aisle 3.
Whack. It's terrible.
Clean up on aisle 3.
It's terrible. It's a terrible. It doesn't look good on a woman, man.
It
doesn't look good on a woman to have that type of disposition, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing feminine about that. There's nothing inviting about that. That's nothing that's really good about that. So, man, so I'm talking to her on the phone with a woman. She's like, "Yeah, I just need a man that can handle me, handle my attitude, because I know I'm just a lot. I could be a lot." You don't need a man. You need a doctor.
You need a therapist.
You need a mental doctor.
You need a psychological
instructor. You need an evaluation.
You need a mental teacher.
A mental teacher.
You need a
mental teacher.
I'm just.
You need a Dalai Lama type of it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't subscribe to the being handled. The women that say that, they already have a certain type of disposition, man. They just don't. They don't want to change. You already know what type of chick they are when they say that. That's a buzzword. That's a buzzword. You know what I'm saying?
Red flag, man.
I mean, when I hear that, I'm like, handle me. Like, oh, here we go. And see, what you're doing is you're basically telling, especially a man that's really interested in you and vetting you for a long term. If you come up with that, what you're basically saying is that he's going to experience the calm before the storm. You're portraying to be this calm, cool, collected young lady, but you're actually a Tasmanian devil. And you just like all the way around this mug. And you just tearing up everything when you get upset or when you don't get fulfilled a certain way or when you don't get what you want. Then there's a level of you crank up your attitude, everything about you cranks up because you just don't want to be able to be reasonable. You just want what you want. If you're that type of woman, that's something you should work on. You know what I'm saying? We all have to work on something. Whether it be physical, non-physical, tangible, or intangible. We all have to work on something. And at the end of the day, your dookie stink too. Don't nobody want to come after you. Your dookie stink too, man.
Yeah.
There is no excuse for it. It is what it is. Whatever comes out of you that don't smell good to me, I have to be like, what is that? What is that? I didn't see this last time. What is this?
Sweet. Yeah. This is the reason why
you move too fast. This is the reason why you should be real with yourself. This is the reason why you should look in the mirror and say, hey man, I need to work on me. Because if you can acknowledge that you know you can crank up, then you need to acknowledge the fact that you know you need help in that area, and you shouldn't get help from people that's around you. Sometimes you got to get help from people that have a non-biased perspective on you. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you have your friends for certain conversations that you need, but then you need a non-biased thing.
Somebody you don't know.
Yeah, you need somebody that's to be able to teach you certain rules about how to do things. Certain, when I say rules, I'm not talking about just concrete. I'm talking about guidelines, certain things that you can use as a practice on a daily basis. But you got to start with yourself first. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm ready for love and I'm ready for this and I'm ready for that." But you don't have good listening skills. You're ready for this and ready for that, but you still want somebody to handle you. You don't want to change. You're ready for a relationship, but you don't want to be bothered. Like, make up your mind what you want to be, man. What you want to do, man. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it just doesn't make sense to say this. Like, man, look, I'm not trying to handle you. I'm too old. I'm too big for this. I don't care. All right. Whatever dispositions you got to handle that on your own. That's what you handle. You don't handle. You don't have to handle nobody else. Ladies don't have to handle no man, and don't try to change no man. That's another way of trying to handle him. I thought he was going to change. No, you were trying to change him. You didn't think he was going to change. He was pooky before, he was pooky during, and he was pooky at the end of the whole thing. He was pooky.
Now you stepping on some foots.
I'm on some foots. I'm just saying. So if you saw 3 Pookies in 3 different stages, that's Pookie. I don't understand why he would do that. That's what Pookies do. What you want from a Pookie?
How the hell you don't know you have a Ray Ray?
Exactly, dog. So that's my take, man. All right, I'm out.
He just gonna disappear, dog. That case is closed, sir. Rob, you can catch that up, man.
Well, we want to thank y'all for coming to the MALEROOM show. We'll see y'all in a couple of weeks. We'll holler at y'all.
Birdie, man. I told you gonna put it in turn.
But no, shout out to the brothers. Shout out to the brothers for that topic and that conversation, man. Clap it up one time. Y'all know what it is, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
So, oh man, once again, man, thank you to all our supporters, man. I told y'all today was gonna be a great show, and y'all know once Busy gets going, once he gets to cooking,
I wasn't even trying to.
Hey, when we say get our popcorn ready at the beginning of the show, like literally, so like at that time, during that time he was going, you had time to pop that some bitch and eat it before he got done. I'm just letting y'all know. Shout out to Busy. Hey, that's how we do, man. Definitely. You know what I mean? So just shout out to our American. Thank you to everybody that joined the live today. And you know what it is, man. If you ain't see us now, you will see us later. Please. Now, I'm going to say this. I know some of our beautiful, awesome, our just amazing mail carriers. I know y'all be having watch parties, and trust me, we love and appreciate however y'all view us. But for those of y'all who go to the watch parties but haven't subscribed yet, please make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel, man, the MALEROOM Network. Yeah. Like I said, wherever y'all watch us, however y'all watch us, we love and appreciate y'all. But if y'all go to the watch parties, don't forget, after the watch party, go ahead and go to the YouTube channel, the MALEROOM Network, hit that subscribe button, and holler at your boys, man. We almost have 2 seasons of content. So just holler at us, man. If you've been here for the
notification button too to be on time for the watch party.
Yes, hit that notification button. Make sure y'all are at the watch party, and we're gonna get it in. Yeah, we are at the Q&A portion of the show, man. We are at the Q&A portion of the show. So if you got something you want to ask us, please put it in the chat right now. And as always, go ahead and hop on in this fire. I'm going to go ahead and continue to let y'all know where y'all can find us. Go ahead and holler at us on Facebook. You know what it is, man. Make sure you holler at us, the MALEROOM Network. Also holler at us at Instagram at the MALEROOM View. Chop it up with us. Send us a message, and you can get to us there. Also, y'all know what it is, man. If y'all have a topic that y'all want to be discussed right here on the MALEROOM show, please email us at the MALEROOM313@yahoo.com. I guarantee your question will be on the show. Mm-hmm. We cannot do this without. What should we start doing, Jay?
Somebody should have the team email open, man, just in case it might come in or something. Anybody see anything? I don't know if
like while we on the show.
take the button man beat. Yeah, because you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
that makes sense. Cause
you know, something might
like
come in.
we could be on the show. They could send something while they're watching, and we never check it. Cause by the time we check it,
That was just something I thought about. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
by the time we check it, it's all the way down there. So when we check our email, we may not see it.
Right.
You know,
We could always do it next show. Ain't no big deal.
yeah, we check our email, but like we get a lot of stuff just from our other streaming services and everything we doing for the show that your message might go down. So that's a good point, Jay. That's a good point. But yeah, man, I told y'all today was an awesome show. And we just really appreciate everybody that's been rocking with us since season 1, man. We are more than halfway through season 2, and this has been fun, man. Like we see the people that's waiting for the show. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Shout out to Arby. Thank you, Arby, for the Q&A. Are exes really capable to be real friends?
I think we got a question of like this similar not too long ago. Was it last season? I think we had a question like that. Jay, what you think?
I think it was last season.
I'm gonna go to you, Jay. On this. What you think?
You said, are they capable of being friends?
Yeah, that's what it says right there. Are exes really capable of being
Our
friends?
exes really capable of being friends? Hell no, man. Hell no.
We kind of talked about this before, though.
Hell no, they not, man. Like,
Y'all
and the reason being, think about it. No, let's just do it. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. We're gonna talk about it. We talk about it. Fine, let's do it. So think about this though. Like y'all came from whatever type of dating phase y'all had, right? Friends with benefits, associates, wherever they got to this point, right? So you get to a point of adding love to it, adding your independence to it. Maybe y'all start sharing stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it got to the point that, and as exes, you can say what type of ex. So maybe you even talking about marriage and divorce exes too. Like, you know what I'm saying? We doing that whole thing. Maybe you got to that pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? And the feelings that was involved, you know what I'm saying? The contribution that was involved, the dedication and all of that has been severed based on the relationship going the way it did. So the only thing that you really do on a psychological point after being severed like that mentally and physically, you know what I'm saying, like that out of a relationship, is to be cool with the person because it wasn't entirely their fault. Now, you can't be friends though. Like I can't see myself, you know what I'm saying, investing so much I did into the relationship that I was in to let that person still get the benefit of me. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get my friendship still after you severed me the way we have, because you're an ex for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're an ex for a reason. We're not just giving you a title for no reason. Something did not occur with us that should have been occurred, or the plan just didn't work out. And depending on how dramatic it was, is depending on how bad their ex, right, or how bad the situation was. But even if it was the simplest, you know what I'm saying, I don't think you can reverse the action that happened, escalating from friends to dating and back down to friends, because, you know what I'm saying, you had all that contribution. And then why would you want somebody to still gain the benefit of you after they sever with the proposition that you gave them? The proposition that you gave them was long lasting. The proposition that you gave them had some emotional effect to it. And they sever that. So why are you still benefiting them? You understand? So the moments you can ever do is be associated with them. Like, look, I don't hate you as a person. So I'll see you and say hi or something. Because I know the fact that I can get over what we've been through. I know I can heal from it. And for the fact that, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to hate you for the rest of my life. So I can see associates. But friends, I'm not taking my ex out to a date. I'm not traveling with my ex. I'm not doing this. Like, I don't see the logical reason in doing that after. you've been settled out of something that you plan longevity with. I just don't see it. I don't see the logic in it.
This goes back to the holding on to the past version of you question. It's like now you're trying to hold on to what the relationship used to be instead of taking instead of looking at the reality of what the relationship is and what it became. You broke up because you did not get the outcome that you wanted. Whatever the outcome that you wanted, you didn't get it. So now it's like, okay, I'll be friends with them. So let's say this. So let's go a little bit further, Jay. Let's go with the fact that, okay, I done broke up with this person and everything like that. I want to move on to someone else, and I got to explain to the next person that I'm still friends with my ex. Whatever level of ex that is, it could be living together, it could be almost engaged, broke up, whatever the case may be. That dynamic changed for a reason. The bottom line is that we were not made to be friends, men and women. We were not made for it, but we create friendships out of the fact that we are in society. We do have to have some type of human communication, companionship, things of that nature. But if I'm a man and I have an ex and we're not together, we're exes for a reason, like you said, and now I'm moving on to someone else that I feel fits me more, and I let them know, like, hey, baby girl, yeah, I do have a friend of mine. It's a female friend. Her name is, for lack of names, Aubrey. Since she asked the question, I'm just using your name as an example, Aubrey. I'm not saying this is you, okay? And then Aubrey is my ex, and now I have to explain to my current lady that my ex is not only my friend, but we used to, have some occasions together. We used to have some benefits. We used to live together. We used to do all that. That's gonna make it look like I don't know how to move on.
Bad taste.
That shows a sign. That shows a sign of immaturity as well. It shows a sign of you trying to hold on. There's a little bit of immaturity there because you don't know how to move on and leave properly. See, everybody like to have bad break. A lot of people like to have bad breakups so that way they can blame somebody for the breakup instead of it being mutual. Instead of it just being a mutual breakup where you still got love and respect for each other, but we just can't go down this road. And then if I meet somebody new and they fit my criteria and I fit theirs, then there is a severing of ties that I have to do because that way that person needs to move on too. To me, it sounds like a game. Being friends with your ex ain't nothing but a game, dog. Because what y'all gonna be doing?
It's a game of benefits to me, bro.
Game of benefits. What y'all gonna?
It's a game of benefits, dog. Everybody's right. If you're trying to keep an ex a friend, you're trying to yet still benefit from.
You're still trying to benefit.
You're not hiding that from anybody.
Now me, that's like saying I'll go to my ex house because she make good gumbo, and I used to smash all the time. What's gonna happen after I eat that gumbo?
Right.
I'm gonna eat more of some gumbo. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You feel me?
Got a whole Sunday pass over there.
Oh, nah. Oh, what we now you're playing. Now you're tempting. Now you're tempting yourself with your ex because you know what's gonna happen. You know what you're weak for. You know what your strength is with this person. You know what and all that. And if they're ex, and let that be an ex. Let that be what it was. Those days are over. Move on. There's other people you can be friends with. Exes, I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's not a good idea. Do whatever you want to do. Y'all all grown. It's not a good idea though. You can drive your car with your feet. That don't make it a good idea.
It's some safe ground situation too, man. Like some people just they can't deviate from safe ground. Like things that you're used to, you just can't move from it. You know what I'm saying? Like an ex has been around you for years.
Yeah,
you just can't move from it.
Yeah.
Now that's the thing you just need to be honest about yourself with.
Right.
That's some more work you got to do within you.
Yeah.
That's why Tay said you need that time away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you need that time, if you can get that time away, you'll realize if this person is benefiting you as you want them to. If they're not benefiting you as you want them to, why are you trying to keep a tie to them?
Right.
And then call it friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you trying to do that? Like, that don't make no sense. Other than the fact that it might be a safe space that you're trying to keep. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're emotional creep. I mean, we have emotions. That makes sense. We've been together for some person for so long. You know what I'm saying? That we see them, we just remember the good parts about them.
Right.
But like Tay said in the beginning of his dissertation, there's a whole story to it. The whole story of the matter is y'all broke up at the end of the time, and why did y'all do so?
Exactly.
Because you agreed to do so.
And then,
so now you just
go ahead.
Yeah.
Not just what.
No, and now you quit the job, but you want to work part time.
Yeah, and then on top of that, that's a good point. And then on top of that, dang dog. You severed the ties for a reason, and so it's like then it's like, okay, the person that's interested in you, they're gonna be like, yo, you're not done yet. You're not done with that person yet. You know what I'm saying? Because it shows that you want to hold on to something. And I think just letting go is the point. Like you try. See, you made the attempt to be something more, and that attempt failed for whatever reason. Now, unless you have children with your ex, I can see you all having cooperation with each other. But friendship is a specific thing, and it means more than just getting along with each other. That's the high school, elementary version of friendship. We friends because we got stuff in common. But your friendship goes through ups and downs. You didn't go through ups and downs as friends. You went through ups and downs as lovers.
Right. That first definition is what they use to make it so elusive, the term friendship.
Yeah. So Aubrey, that's a great question. My answer is no. Jay's answer is no. What about your answer, Rollo?
You think, Rob? I'm sorry, we was on that deep.
No, I don't think they could really and I'm looking at the word real friends.
Really friends? Yeah, real friends. It's gonna be
real friends. No, friendships take work. Friendships take connection, and once you've been in a relationship and y'all separate, those ties really break in more ways than one. Even if you think about people who were friends before they got into a relationship, they might have been known each other for years. Once you cross that boundary and you decide to be together, that past friendship is different because with relationships come expectations. With relationships come responsibilities that you have for each other that you didn't have if you were friends before. So if you become exes, all of that is out the window, because it's a whole different way of looking at each other. Yeah. It's a whole different way of viewing your relationship. So I definitely don't think exes can be real friends.
No, yeah, people who are doing this stuff, man, y'all tread lightly with that, man. Just be careful. You know what I'm saying? Like with that, because now you're playing with fire, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, ex, man. It is what it is. It didn't work out. It is what it is. Let the exes be exes, right? And then let your
You can be cordial. You can be cordial.
Yeah, cordial. Like you cordials all day. Yeah, that's what's up. But to have a real friendship with them, nah, man. Because then it's going again. Like I said, when you move on to somebody else that you really like and care for, they're not going. You don't know how they're gonna feel about that. They may not tolerate that. They may not tolerate that, man. So, but that's a great question, man. Shout out to
thank you, Aubrey. Shout out to Aubrey for that one. Thank you so much, Aubrey.
That definitely was.
Fellas,
he answered your question, sweetheart.
I hope we answered it. Aubrey, thank you so much, man. Aubrey, next time hop on in this fire, but it's all good. We love you. We love y'all.
Click the link.
Brothers.
Click the link.
Again, to our mail carriers, thank you for viewing a live show, man. To my brethren, I love y'all, man. Today was a dope show. I love the insight. Tay, you was cooking today, my guy.
Oh, y'all, everybody cooking.
It's like that today. JB, you know what it is, man. What y'all got to say to the people before we roll?
Let's get it cracking this Friday.
Please, let's get it cracking.
Let's get it cracking this Friday. Everybody here, man, y'all see the promo, man. Thank y'all for y'all supporting the promo. Like, it's about to go down. Like, 8 p.m. until we opening the floodgates. We just going to let it ride. You know what I'm saying? And for the fact that we're making this an open panel discussion. This is just one question. We're going to branch off from like that. We're going to go ahead and do it. So this Friday, May 12th, 8 p.m. until, man.
Let's do
Get
it.
ready. Do your makeup. Do your hair. Do what you got to do, man. Get in this file like Rob said, man. Get on this camera. And let's work it out, man. Let's figure out what that's all about. You know?
And it's only gonna be on YouTube. People know it's
only
not on Facebook.
Only
Facebook page is only gonna
be
all right.
Yeah. What you got for the people, Busy?
Hey man, I want to say I love everybody, man, for real. Everybody on this panel, everybody in this chat, everybody. I just love everybody, man. My thing is I want people to grow. I want people to be smart about what they do. I want people to be wise about what they do. Like I'm trying to do the same thing. We all in it together, and I think we all do this thing as a collective. we'll be better off. Everybody trying to be an island. Sometimes you just can't do it. You need to be able to hear other people out. No one is right or wrong or whatever, but there's always a fine line between what makes sense and what doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's get into the lane of things that make sense. That's all, man. Until then, man, I'm ready for Friday, dog. I'm like, Jay, I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
On Friday.
I'm ready.
Man.
Real quick, so to everybody viewing live right now, again, we love the watch parties. We know they're going down. Make sure y'all like that. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Remember, also, we will not be here next week. We are going to celebrate those special women in our lives. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Shout out to my mama. We love and appreciate y'all, man. We will see y'all in a couple weeks for some more fire, man. Let's get it.
All right, man.